Ms. Luria, you are recognized.
Well, thank you, and I would like to start, General Milley, by associating myself with the remarks that Ms. Cheney made at the beginning of her questions, and focus on the time frame immediately following the 2020 election. On November 9th, 2020, Secretary of Defense Mark Esper was replaced by Acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller. And additionally, other key leadership positions at DoD were abruptly filled with new people. General Milley, did this rapid replacement of top senior officials at the Department of Defense in the final days of the administration give you concern regarding the transition of the administration?
We in the military are trained for leadership replacement from the time we were a second lieutenant, Fallout 1 drills sort of thing. And it is clearly in the prerogative of any president to replace any cabinet member or any appointee at all at any point in time. So that's how I would answer that. We're prepared to execute at a moment's notice if someone is relieved.
And General Milley, did you have any concerns at the time that involved the potential misuse of the military for political reasons?
I was determined to make sure that the U.S. military is properly employed, and I would render my advice to ensure that the U.S. military is employed not for political use.
Well, thank you. And it's been referenced a few times during the hearing today that you did cooperate with several authors for specific books. And it seems as though your choice to do that was that you wanted to get the story straight, the facts out there about different things that transpired during this time frame. And you acknowledged today that you frequently speak to reporters, and also yesterday in comments to senators that you sometimes do that anonymously. I think that we would all like full transparency and full understanding of the facts surrounding this time frame. And as you know, I'm a member of the Select Committee to investigate the events surrounding January 6th. So I can speak for the committee to say that we'll be very interested to have the same level of information and be able to speak to you in the future about those topics. And I'll shift now to another topic of discussion. And if I could ask my colleagues to please respect my time. So General Milley, you've spent half of your career fighting a war in Afghanistan, roughly. And when did you personally know that the war was lost?
Well, I think if you go back to 5-6 years ago, I knew it was stalemated. Lost is a different word, but I believed it was stalemated, and I believed 5-6 years ago that it was unwinnable through U.S. military means for several reasons. There's a sanctuary in Pakistan that was not going to be destroyed or defeated, and that insurgencies are highly political wars to begin with. And what was important to win is to have an indigenous government that was seen as legitimate in the eyes of the people, along with a military, their police and army that could adequately deal with that situation. But I knew years ago that it was stalemated, said that repeatedly, internal and external, and that winning would be defined as a negotiated solution, as most insurgencies are historically. They result in a negotiated solution between the insurgent and the regime. And I thought that was the best way that this could handle. I didn't think there was a military solution.
So it's interesting to me that you used the word winning. Did you think that winning was possible, or did you think that a stalemate or a status quo was really the only ultimate outcome that we could hope for in this situation?
I think, as I recall, President Bush at the very beginning of this thing 20 years ago said winning would look a lot different in this war, or words to that effect. And I think he was right then, and I think that a negotiated solution was the best way of approaching a quote-unquote win. I think that would have been in the best interest of the United States, and it would have been in the best interest of the region and the Afghan people, was a negotiated solution between the Taliban, the insurgents, and the government.
Well, thank you. And I saw Secretary Austin nodding. I know there's very little time left. Did you want to add something briefly?
Yeah, you heard me say at the very top that my hope was that we could reach a negotiated settlement. A stalemate would actually provide the opportunity to do that for both sides to negotiate in earnest if neither thought that they were going to win. And again, we just never reached that point because the Taliban had advantages coming into this because we weren't striking them. We released prisoners.
The gentlelady's time has expired. I appreciate it. A couple quick announcements. So there is a vote on. We have a hard stop at 2. We're going to stop at 2. I am going to go vote. Ms. Luria, if you could take the chair for just a moment, I will come back as quickly as I can and then free you of that obligation. But it's my intention to roll through that. So members, vote accordingly, be here. I think we have Ms. Jacobs, who is up next on our side, so we have a couple of people to get us through that. But that's what we're going to do, and Ms. Bice is recognized for 5 minutes, and I'll be right back.